Hi, this is Carolyn James with Holistic Campus, and I'm with Jenn Bovee, a founding practitioner who is a spiritual wellness guide and really cool, a shame-busting coach. Welcome, Jenn.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
This is great. Okay, so you got to tell us about shame-busting coach.
So in my past, I was a psychotherapist. I worked in community mental health and substance abuse treatment and all of that stuff. And the one common theme I found, two common themes I found with people is there was a lot of underlying shame, as well as there was a lack of understanding for how to piece together who they were spiritually as well as who they were physically. And so the two kind of created who I am today, because my experience is that once we address the shame issues and develop shame resilience, then people have a higher self-esteem, they have higher self-worth, they are more present in their relationships, they're more present in their own bodies, and everything begins to change.
Oh, that's beautiful. I never thought about that, but how I grew up with all kinds of shame, and when I finally did it, huge difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now the spiritual wellness guide piece of that, so if someone comes to you and they're drawn to you for whatever reason, because they need to, go through a little bit of who comes to you and what they come to you for.
So typically the people that are attracted to me are people who have tried other modalities and they may have found a little bit of relief or a little bit of improvement, but they didn't feel fulfilled. They didn't have that sensation of, wow, okay, now I'm where I'm supposed to be and now I can do all these other things. So it's people that have tried traditional psychotherapy, medication. They may have even tried some meditation, and they're just feeling like maybe there's no help out there for them, but they really inherently believe there is. So then they get desperate and they start Googling things, and then they discover me, and they're like, I can't tell you how many people I've worked with that they started off our first session saying, "You're my last hope." Wow. And then when we're wrapping stuff up, they tell me, "Why didn't I find you sooner? Because that would have saved me so much time and anguish. And now I know that I have a purpose, and I can feel fulfilled, and I can go do these things that I'm excited to do."
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you've got them at the hardcore points. They're ready.
Mm-hmm.
So then, so how does it work? So I would think it's going to be a process. Yes?
It is a process, yeah. And so part of what we do is we identify what their goals are for them, because many people, so I work a lot with people who have experienced traumas. And the problem with that is when you've experienced a trauma, it becomes very difficult to identify and set goals. You've lost faith in yourself and you've lost hope and change. Right. So you kind of don't necessarily have the ability to establish or identify goals. So we talk about what their goals are, and we talk about them in very short-term basis and long-term basis, because I want the goals to be so ridiculously simple in the beginning that it creates a positive psychological tie between goal setting and goal achievement.
Right. So how did all this happen for you? How did you get to this wonderful place?
So I grew up in a pretty dysfunctional family. I left there when I was 19, and I was not a good student growing up. I'll just admit that. Neither. So it was probably because I was drinking every day, but that's beside the point. So math, maps, and geography, they baffle my brain frequently. It gives my husband rage. But I grew up in Iowa, and I wanted to go far away to college because I didn't want it to be close enough that my parents could stop by. So I literally went 8.5 hours away. It was amazing. It was going to be a great experience. I was never going to come back home, but I hated snow at that point in my life. And I moved
to 8.5 hours?
South Dakota.
Oh, there's a choice. Okay. Yeah.
I thought because it said South Dakota that it should inherently be warm.
Yeah.
Not so much.
It was the drinking, Jenn.
Agreed. I'm like, even looking back, when I tell my husband and my kids this story, they're always like, "What?" And I'm like, it made sense in my brain at the time. Give me a break. So I moved there, and at that point, my life really started to shift. And I've been through so many changes now that it's just kind of like, okay, what's next? But I discovered that my responses to things were not normal. Whatever normal is, mine were not there.
Yeah.
And even just the way my brain processed stimuli wasn't normal. So I began this path for betterment. And obviously, when you're really motivated to change and grow, that kind of unleashes the floodgates for opportunities to change and grow. So not all of them were amazing and wonderful. And sometimes I explored the absolute valleys there. But in the end, it made me who I am today. And so part of that is I had gotten so far in my own therapy journey that I was left in this position of, okay, I've been doing therapy for this long, and like, I'm still not okay. And I don't know that these therapists that I've interacted with or worked with or met have the capacity to get me to where I need to be, where I want to be, which is okay in my own skin, healthy, happy, loving. It wasn't like huge unrealistic goals. Right. And then I met my husband, who introduced me to the world of self-hypnosis, and everything changed. Wow. He opened those doors to me to begin to learn about how the subconscious mind interacts with our habits and behaviors, and everything changed then.
Happy day.
Right.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. And then, so you've been bringing all the spirituality into it. So yes. How interesting, the therapeutic side. So being a therapist and seeing all this and bringing spirituality, wow, that's a powerful mix.
Right. Many of my clients talk about when they come to me, I can tell the facial expression now because I've seen it so often. They're like, well, I don't know if I should tell you this. And I'm always like, the answer is yes. And they're like, okay, but you might think I'm crazy. And then my instant response is highly doubtful. Nope, probably not. And then they'll tell me something along the lines of, I had one client who came to me and she's like, so my doctor wants me to do electric shock therapy because my son died and I think he's sending me messages. And so she told me the message that he was sending, and I'm like, he totally is. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds valid to
shock therapy.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that sounds totally valid to me. And she's like, really? Wow. And I'm like, yeah. So that bridged the gap for her to be able to truly heal from that huge grief and loss.
See, boy, it's a sad state that those are separated.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't think they were intended to be separated either.
No, but when you think about the reaction of, so here's this healer that is, go get electric shock therapy because
yes.
Well, he is.
Yes, right.
You're not nuts. Yeah.
Right.
Thank heaven. Yeah, she found you for a reason, didn't she?
Right, agreed. Yes. Yes.
So at the end of this process, or just even during, so what are some of the benefits? Like, what are the epiphanies and whatnot that people will have?
So I'm reminded of this client that I'm working with currently who, when she came to me, she was there are no words to describe the bad place that she was in. She was defiant. She was resistant. She didn't want to interact with me, let alone talk to me. And so like, I challenged a couple of her beliefs, but other than that, I just kept telling her, that's okay. When you're ready, I'll be here. And so like, I went out of town the next day and I had told her, I'm going out of town. If you want to set up another appointment, just let me know. And she emailed me, and her email still sticks out in my mind because she said, you're not like other people that I've met, which is what I told her. I'm like, you've never met somebody like me, so you're going to need to give me a chance. And so she was like, I mean, you're not like other people I've met, so you might be the real deal, and I'm willing to take the risk. And so we've been working together for probably only 2 or 3 months now, but now she has a full-time job that she loves. She's able to sleep at night. She's interacting with people. She's dating. She's doing all of these things that her life before felt so empty and so vacant. And so like, I'll regularly just text her just to check in because this job is still new. And she like randomly sent me a text last night. And she's like, I'm so grateful for the job. I love the job. She's like, and I'm so grateful for you because without you, I wouldn't have had the courage to go for the job. And it's because I taught her things like how important sleep is and how to get good sleep and how to change her thoughts and how to interact with others and how to basically take that anxiety and kind of just set it over here for a little while, not have to fully immerse yourself in it.
And therein lies why you do what you do.
Right.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. Oh, so happy. So I know we're going to do a little bit of session. You're going to show me some stuff in a little while. Is there anything else you want to share about this incredible work?
It really is incredible. And I have this inherent belief that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, that everybody is worthy of this work and everybody deserves this work. Because on the other side of this work is true peace, true happiness, security within yourself. And I think that everybody deserves that and everybody's worth that.
Yeah. And they are. And what a wonderful thing to find.
Yes.
So I'm glad you're offering. I'm really glad.
Thank you.
Really.
Me too. Me too.
All right, honey. We'll talk in a minute.
Okay, great. Thanks.